All right, I started the recording just so we have something.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I just think that, New Orleans had better weather. People were in a better mood.
But there's a lot from New York too,
There
but
is.
not too much from Boston being the first club. You think,
They probably have pictures that just haven't surfaced. Maybe people that work there didn't, post them or something.
well, Gim worked there,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got some other pictures from things that Denver club members did, but not in the club necessarily. We did a halftime show for the Denver Broncos at one point in the early 70s. I've got some pictures of that. I gotta find them and then I'll scan them and send them to you guys. And one of the guys, the wife of one of the guys' family had a ranch up in the mountains by Netherland near where Caribou Ranch was, that recording studio where so many groups like Chicago and things recorded. And I've got some pictures of some stuff picnics and things we did up there that are kind of funny, but not many pictures of inside the club. I don't know why.
Mhm.
And there should have been pictures of St. Patty's Day parades and other things with the fire truck, but I can't find any.
Well, Roger had a
well,
lot of
here's
stuff.
one for you. Here's one for you. I was at the Mustache from 70 to 76, so 6 years, 75 years in New Orleans. And I got a lot of pictures, but not that many but I look at myself at Fritzl now. I've been there 20 years. I have less pictures. Why don't I take more pictures? I don't know.
Well, I
You
took
don't
a few
think about
pictures.
it. You don't
Yeah, I
think
took a
about
few
it.
pictures of you at Fritzl's. One time when we all went down there, I took a few pictures of you at Fritzl's, but I think I sent those to you before,
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
I just
Hey, guys.
Hey, Chris.
I missed you guys last couple of weeks.
I
Yeah,
know. We missed you.
Whoops.
there he is.
Chris,
Yeah.
you're looking good.
Well, I feel good. One week I was at a banjo convention in Dearborn, and the other week it's what happens to me during ever since COVID started. I don't know what day it is.
Yeah.
But I'm here,
and
and
with Tyler and Sean Moises and all them, huh?
yeah, it was great. It was terrific to see those people and hear them play.
Johnny Bayer, he's great.
He is. He's a lot better than than you would think the guy who runs a museum would be.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a heck of a player. Yeah. And what I love is that when he plays, to back other people up, he plays like a guitar, a little background
Right.
guitar. He fits right in. He doesn't, he doesn't have to push himself any further than he has to. He's a good,
I
solid
heard-
background.
I heard some clips of him backing on guitar, Sean and Tyler, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Tom managed to hook up with Joel yesterday for a brief
Oh, good.
interview.
Yeah, I was trying to let some more people come up, but
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got I'm going to play two things for you guys. This is about the reunion.
Okay.
Hold on. Good time player share. When they get together.
We are all ready to go, except we can't find a place to play with the COVID problems we're having up here. We still can't get a venue, but I understand we're on track with 2 venues, and I hope to be able to announce sometime this week or the week afterwards. We're not going to be able to attract a big crowd. I don't think anybody wants to see your father's mustache except for us, but I think we all would like to play together one more time.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of us feel like it would be just great to be like we were in New York at the hotel, just
Right.
playing and talking and drinking.
Right. Well, that I think is where we are now. For a lot of effort, a whole bunch of twists and turns, and I finally realized that's where we all want to be.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. It's fine.
I'll do my best to get that done in the next few weeks' time. Tom.
Okay. Well,
This is
thanks,
a
Joe.
recording
Thanks for
I made
taking the
this
time to talk.
Oh, interesting. Oh, you're editing your mustache call?
No, this is the call,
Oh.
Thanks,
but
Lynn.
I'm playing it back. for
Nice with Joe. It's terrific.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, well, that was that. This is my son. This
Hey,
is Nick.
Hey,
I'm
Nick,
working on growing a
Hey, Nick.
mustache. Oh, I recognize some of you.
This is somewhere there's David. This is David Kirkman. You would not be here if it wasn't for David Kirkman.
Oh, boy. Look, I'm not associated with my mother. I can't speak for her bar activities.
you don't have to.
But that was where we were trying to get some stuff from Joel to put together for Lynn. And he talked about
Hey,
Jeff.
Jim.
Hey,
Oh, is
Gim.
Gim
Hey, Gim.
there?
Hello.
Hey, Gim. If you guys can handle it one more time, I'm going to replay that so Gim can see it.
Okay.
We
Go
talked to
ahead.
Joel yesterday morning,
Oh, did you?
and let me play that just so you can see about the shoot. Where is it? I'm screwing this up. Hold on, I'll get it in a second.
Cool.
Where did it go?
Should be desktop one.
That's.
Share.
Can you see Joel?
Yep.
We are all ready to go, except we can't find a place to play
Oh, really?
with the COVID problems we're having up here. We still can't get a venue, but I understand we're on track with 2 venues. And I hope to be able to announce sometime this week or the week afterwards. We're not going to be able to attract a big crowd. I don't think anybody wants to see your father's mustache except for us, but I think I think we all would like to play together one more time.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of us feel like it would be just great to be like we were in New York at the hotel, just
Right.
playing and talking and drinking.
Right. Well, that I think is where we are now. After a lot of effort, a whole bunch of twists and turns, and I finally realized that's where we all want to be. I'll do my best to get that done in the next few weeks, Tom.
Okay. Well, thanks, Joel. Thanks for taking the time to talk.
Okay, I wanted you to see that, Gim, because you.
Thank you. Well, that is the same conversation I've had with him, but basically, and Marty had a place and he was going to go look at it. And it was a place that Joel had found for him. So he mentioned 2 places. So there must be another one I don't know about. But so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
COVID is coming back, and in the central part of Connecticut has the new variant, the numbers and initials for which I don't remember, but the eastern part of the state and the western part of the state where I am haven't got the COVID problem that they do. So the Hartford, New Haven area has the new outbreak, if you want. So
Well, I hope it happens, but
yeah, well, we all want it to happen, that's for sure.
yeah. Then I also did a little piece with him just talking about the mustache.
Oh,
If you want to see that. And I thought that was pretty good.
cool.
I keep doing this wrong.
Yeah, it's still desktop one. Oh,
Desktop one or that?
oh, then that'll work. That's cool.
Sure. I was at the Harvard Business School, and I just graduated, and I went to the West Coast. I don't know why. I think I drove out with a friend of mine from London, and we got to Red Garter. And I decided to talk to the owner of the Red Garter about opening a mustache, not a mustache at the time, a Red Garter at the time in Boston. I don't know why he said yes, but he did. And we talked for a while. I signed the contract and we opened. It wasn't complicated. I played there one night. I was a waiter for one night, which was a disaster. I was a world first waiter. Then I came back and we opened about a year later.
So what was it? I thought I had heard that you had written a proposal in business school about a banjo bar. Was that true?
Well, that was before. Actually I didn't write it. My roommate wrote it because we were in a course called New Enterprises. And we were supposed to write about something that we were going to start when we got out of school. And my roommate didn't have a clue what he was going to do when he got out of school. So he asked me to borrow your father's mustache. Red Garter at the time. So he wrote a report and the guy said, the professor said, this is a waste of time. I don't think this will work at all. And he was right. It worked beautifully.
Yeah. So then how did you separate the Red Garter from, how did you start your father's mustache then?
We had 3 clubs open and operating. He had 1. And I was paying him royalties on 3 clubs. I didn't think I was getting a lot of help with a lot of advice from him. I don't know. I thought I didn't need a lot of help with advice from him. Maybe that's it. So I decided to cancel the contract. I hired a lawyer and we canceled the contract. I had to pay him a large fee for that. How we got the name is interesting. They may not have heard this, but we had a contest, and we got a lot of responses, probably about 1,000 responses. 400 of them were saggy stockings, which the person then had to explain what that meant. He said, well, if you lose your Red Garter, you're going to have saggy stockings. So I said, that doesn't really fit very well. Finally, somebody suggested your father's mustache. And I figured that'll work well. And we changed it in all 3 of our clubs at that time.
Okay, that's it. Next week,
great.
or in 2 weeks, I'll play the Jeff stuff. I didn't get that edited yet because I just did it.
That's from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. And so while we're at it, next week, Billy and I are both tied up again because I got a job and Billy's out playing. So we're going to skip next week and do the week after.
That's fine, because I got a gig, so it's okay.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you have a gig.
Yes, it's good. They're
Must
few
be
and far-
nice.
It's easy for me. I'll just forget to tune in next week.
When's Mom coming back?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Things are picking up a little more. I hope they keep going with COVID the way it is, but
Yeah. Have you guys got a COVID problem?
Yeah, we got a lot of them.
yeah, my son in California, in San Francisco, has COVID now.
Not this
Wow.
one. Just to be clear, not this one.
The other one. My neighbor's an NIH doctor, and he just went to a conference and got it. And he said he had a mask on the whole time, except for the dinners. He
Yeah.
said probably got it at dinner. And it's kind of coming back, but I don't think it's as bad as it was before. I don't think people are really
It's more contagious, but it's not as dangerous, if you want, is from what I hear from Fauci and the crowd. But it's the what is it now? The Omicron is now on its fourth variant, and they keep coming. Each one is less virulent than the one before, but more contagious. So, but we got better weapons now. I mean, we got the what is it called, the Paroxylid or something like that, the antivirus stuff that
You got the monoclonal antibodies, but you got to go get those. You have to go get them. They have to stick them in your arm.
Well,
intravenous.
that's one thing, but that's one thing. But the other thing I just was trying to remember the name of. It's got a lot of P. It got a P and a couple of V's and an X in it. I just can't remember how to say it. But it's not a vaccine. It's a treatment. And
Yeah,
but
it's a pill, but you got to get it within 3 or 4 days, and then you got to get it from the doctor.
That's all true, but but the government's now starting to ship them around so that they're available at local CVS kind of thing.
That'd be good.
Right. Let's hope we don't get it, but let's say there's more things you can do about it these days than you could 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, nice seeing you guys. I'm gonna pop out.
Take care,
Well,
Nick.
Yeah.
Take
care.
So Mike, did you kind of split your time, your life a little bit on the East Coast and the rest in Denver with?
It's kind of a strange story. I started in Denver in March of 1970, and then I went to New York and that summer, and Joel and Roger invited me to a manager's meeting. I was there, and they interviewed me for 8 hours one night on a nasty hangover and told me they wanted to send me to Belgium to open a club. And I said, where the hell is Belgium? And then I spent a couple of weeks in Boston with Joan and Artie Dragon at the time. And a couple of months in New York being trained to go over to Belgium, and 6 months in Belgium to get it open. And then I was at Mardi Gras, 73 and 75. That's where I met Mr. Foulon. And went down there in 79. And then that's pretty much it. Most of my time was spent in Denver, but I got around a little bit, but not as much as some of the guys like Barry and a few of them. So that's a capsule version of it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
It's quite a story.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And Jim, you did Boston, New York, Cape, and New Orleans, right? Jim?
Hey, oh, you're talking to me? Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Boston, New York, Cape Cod, and New Orleans.
And the Jersey Shore from time to time.
Okay, and the Jersey Shore too. Yeah,
I opened St. Louis.
and St. Louis. So that's quite a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did New Orleans, New York, Cape Cod, and Chauvin.
That's yeoman service, young man. Yeoman service.
Jim, what year did St. Louis open?
Oh, I don't remember exactly, but it was
Okay.
probably mid 60s somewhere.
Did you work with a tuba player there named Red Lear at all?
I didn't. I know Red Lear, but I didn't work with him there. No.
Yeah, I got to know him at some jazz festivals and things. What a great guy. He just passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he had a nice what was it called? The St. Louis something or other.
So it was part of Jeannie Kittrell and St. Louis Ragtimers.
That's right. And he had his after she died, he took it over.
Yeah.
And he had the large band was the St. Louis, whatever you said.
Ragtimers.
The Ragtimers, and he had a smaller band. I think it was five piece. That was the I forget, Red Lear's Hot Five or something like that.
Yeah.
Chris, you played multiple mustaches too, didn't you?
Yeah, but mostly New York. I played the summers. I played in Point Pleasant, and then I did a summer in Summers Point. And Philadelphia was actually my first club. That's where they sent me first. And then I did go to Chicago, but for like one night, and with Dennis Drury. He and I went out there to fill in for the band because they had an outside job. And so we just filled in at the club for them. It was crazy. And I played in Boston one time. Never anywhere else. That was it. And then I was in the show band. We had a show band that we took up to Troy, New York for a whole summer. The Hendrick Hudson Hotel. And then we did another summer in Detroit, actually, at the JL Hudson department store. We used to play 10 minutes on the hour on a platform above the lingerie department. It was a sweet gig because the rest of the time we just wandered around in our outfits. We just wandered around the store. They were great department stores. They were like a Macy's,
Oh, yeah.
But in the clubs, it's amazing how similar they all were.
Oh, yeah.
Yet they were different. They all had their own personality, I guess, from my viewpoint, but they all were very similar.
That's by design. That was by design. Yeah.
Sure. Well, that's how we could go and just jump into somebody else's club and play in the band. And we knew what the next song was. Nobody even had to say it,
I remember my first night walking into the New York club, I heard a waiter scream to the bartender, "I need singles for 20." And so it's the same lingo, the same lingo that we use in New Orleans,
That's funny. That's funny.
I
think the
still
basics of all the-
say singles instead of ones. Give me ones. I say, so give me singles, just from mustache days.
I think the basics were pretty much the same at all the clubs. It was the personalities of the individual wackos and nutcases of all of us that worked there that made little changes from one club to another. That's part of the reason why we're all here today, because there was just this big coming together of a lot of really goofy people,
And
talented people, goofy people.
to show you the change of the times, I can remember as a waiter screaming to the bartender, "A pitcher of light and a box of peanuts out of 5." Out of 5, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy clubs.
Yeah. That's New York. Yeah.
That's a kind of young audience too.
Oh, yeah. I think that must have been a Boy Scout afternoon. Look at them all.
Oh, well.
Those are children. I don't know what the story there was.
One time in a New Orleans club, we played for these underprivileged kids, all little black kids in the club. They drinking their pitchers of Coke and eating their peanuts. And Maynard Chattis was standing right next to me. And when this little black kid walked up to me, he looked at me and I had handlebar mustache at the time. He looked at me, he said, "Say, mister, where you get that motherfucking mustache?"
Yeah, it's funny, but it isn't,
Now this was the club and this was the lady who took pictures,
What was her name? Do you remember?
Denise.
Yeah, I remember her.
And you can see the back bar back here. And
Yep.
I think that's David Krippner right there.
Wow.
But it's always strange. People had coats and ties on too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they had a little dark room in the back and some guy ran it. Let's see what else we got.
In the New York club, we had Irving doing the pictures. He had a back room, dark room back there too.
That was after my time. Yeah.
I don't know where that was. That looks like New York, but
It was Central Park, and those were all those hats were the baseball hats. We had a softball team playing in the Broadway show league. All of the shows had softball teams, and so we joined.
cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I see Johnny Martin, I see Faisal, and I see Howard Johnson on tuba. And there's another tuba player I don't recognize there.
I never did know Ron Beisel, but every year when I played in Red Garter in Wildwood, I had to go back to college early for a week. And every year Ron Beisel would fly up from Atlanta and take my place for that week
Really?
up there. So I never met him, but he subbed for me every year. It was a set thing. You know?
I remember when he left New York to go to Ruby Ridge down in Atlanta. I remember that.
One time, Dave Krippner and I was the band leader at the New Orleans club, and Dave and Joel wanted us to go check out Ruby Reds. You remember that, Dave?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, I do.
And we took a weekend trip to Atlanta just to go check out Ruby Reds. They had Ron Beisel and Peanuts Finch playing side banjo. Garcia on washboard, Jerry Garcia,
Yeah.
you know, and all that. So that was a lot of fun. I'm not sure if we picked up a lot or not, David, but we had a good time.
Yeah, I don't think we did. I think we were doing better than they were.
Yeah.
I always like to tell people that I got to play with Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
That's Roger and David at the New Orleans Club. And again, you can see the back bar, and
I have the original of that in my garage right behind me.
Really?
here's Barry Kaiser taking the picture. There's his stripe.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Oh, yeah.
Oh, well.
I tell you what, for a while there, that Ruby Reds in Atlanta was a hot place. It was the same thing as the Mustache, exactly the same. Red Garden, all over the same. That's not the place that you played, Chris, in New Jersey. What, that Straw Hat?
The Straw
I
Hat?
played, yeah, the old Straw Hat was the same formula, same format kind of thing.
Yeah, I worked there for a couple of years. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Was Snake on last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I
Did
just
they
saw
have Shakey's Pizza Parlors on the East Coast?
No,
we had him in
No.
St. Louis.
They had them down here in New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah.
Shakey's was the same kind of music out there in the West Coast. They were great places, but they didn't have the waiters and all the other stuff with it. But you know, 3, 4, 5-piece bands, piano, banjo, tuba, trombone, sometimes a washboard, but none of the waiters and the other stuff that went along with it.
Well, a lot of Hall of Famers played there too. I mean, Bill Rutan played there, and David Marty played there, and Dendel played there, and Johnny Byer played there. So a lot of guys played there.
Yeah,
I did a stint there. After the Mustache burned down, I did 2 Shakey's out here, one on Veterans Boulevard and one out in Kenilworth.
Wow.
I think there's still one somewhere in the Sacramento area. I think there's still one, and Shaky Johnson used to be was pretty heavily involved in the Sacramento Festival for years, and I lived on Shaky's Pizza at that festival for a long time, all weekend long. But he was an interesting guy. He always wore white, everything, white shoes, white socks, white pants, white belt, white shirt, little white snap brim hat.
But I'll tell you, the Shakey's down here in New Orleans, it was pretty low key after playing at the Mustache and Red Garter and stuff. It was very low key.
Yeah.
I can't tell you I enjoyed the job, you know. Yeah.
Well, I have to run to a rehearsal dinner, but
Really?
you guys just stay on there and it'll just turn off on its own, and I'll cut off the end when I get back.
All right, Tom.
Well,
We're not
that's
doing
good,
it.
Tom, and
We're
thanks.
not doing it next week, but I'll have to send out something for the week after. I'll send out something this week to say we're not doing it Wednesday.
Okay.
But thank you,
All
Tom.
right, Tom.
No
Take
problem.
care.
Okay, bye, guys.
I played another place in New Jersey. It was called the Captain's Garter, and it was in Neptune, New Jersey.
Where the hell is that?
I
don't remember that one.
No, the same people own that who owned a place in New Jersey up closer to New York. I can't think of the name of the town anymore. But anyway, they had this captain's garter, and because they had a colonel's garter in New Jersey.
Oh,
And this because it was at the seashore, and it was only for the summertime that they had us. But I was in that club the night that they landed on the moon, and we stopped everything and went into the back bar and turned the TV on so we could watch them walk around on the moon. I remember that. So whenever that was, 1969 or 1969.
that was the Armstrong landing, the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those clubs on the shore,
That was
they
November.
really would pack up in the summertime.
Yeah.
The population up in the Northeast is so high, and all those people come to the shore. I mean, the Red Garter and Wildwood, we had all of South Philly there the whole summer.
Right. Oh, the name of the place.
Those
was-
people knew the words to every song we played.
The place in New Jersey was in Seagirt, the Seagirt Inn. And then
Uh,
they owned the Captain's Garter. Same
Holy
people.
Seagirt, that's pretty down there. That's nice.
Yeah.
Always wanted to go to Cape May. Never made it. Haven't made it yet. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's where Wildwood was.
Yeah.
Wildwood was there. The big tune was, you know, the song "On the Way to Cape May." You ever
No.
heard that?
No,
You would if you worked at Wildwood Red Garter.
I'll bet I do. That's you're right.
And the Red Garter and Wildwood was the same exact thing as the Mustache. Every musician on a bandstand was a former Mustache musician. You know, Ronnie Bill, Les
Yeah.
Musket, you know, me, I mean, we're all for Joe Terra. I mean, it was the Mustache in the Red Garter.
Well, for about 10 or 12 years, banjos were hot. And, you know, the walking wounded were finding work, you know, this kind of thing. And
I was one of them.
yeah, well, we all profited from that. I mean, it was great times for everybody. I mean, there was free beer, girls, peanuts. What the hell more do you want?
You think that came out of the folk song era?
Well, that was certainly part of it. I mean, certainly an influence, but I think it probably the prime mover was probably the guy in San Francisco, Jack Dupin, who started the red and white striped vest formula. Prior to that, I guess was probably Shakey's.
Well, you also had, but they had a bigger band, was Mickey Finn.
Yeah, Mickey Finn was a good thing too.
Mickey
Right.
Finn, that was earlier.
Yes.
Where was
That
it?
was in the early 60s, but they went with a full Dixieland Spike Jones type thing.
Yeah.
You know, but I've talked to Fred Finn and a lot, and he was certainly a pioneer of all that.
He's a character.
Yeah, oh yeah. He goes to those banjo conventions. You know, his wife is a fine banjoist.
She's fabulous.
Yeah.
We had her at we had a banjo convention in Pittsburgh in 1990, and she came and did a set for one of the shows.
Yeah,
Kathy
it was
Lawson, Kathy O'Reilly, yeah.
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 Yeah, she's very good. And a nice person too. I got to know her at what they call the FIGA All-Frets convention.
Right.
And I got to spend a lot of time with her. Because we had a mustache band, me and Mike Gentry and Danny Rubio and all. And we opened up the FIGA convention, but she was a headliner. So I guess she had forgotten about mustache stuff. We just went up and played some of the same old medleys, and she thought it was great. You know, she must have forgotten that. I mean, it was the same vanilla stuff we used to do with the mustache. you
Yeah.
know? She just thought it was great playing 8 We Got Fun and button up your overcoat and goody goody, all that stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Hey, Ira.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Ira.
Boy, only 7 of us tonight, huh?
Well, Tom just left. He had to.
Yeah.
He had something to do.
Yeah, Bill
Okay.
Black was here earlier.
What's that?
Bill Blank was here earlier.
Oh, Billy was here. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's
Yeah,
new with
so is
anyone?
Tom.
Anything new and interesting?
Well, you missed all the Joels.
We saw a film of Joel yesterday talking about the reunion. He's still working on it.
Okay.
Not really no new news.
The other
Did you
thing,
say-
other thing I wrote is Tom said there will not be a Zoom thing next Friday, but because both he and Bill have things going on, but they'll resume in 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay. They did talk about having a concert, or I don't know yet.
He's swaying more to not a concert, but a
Right.
get together,
Right.
play, bullshit, drink beer. type
Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
my-
Bullshit and drink beer, the things we all do best.
I think that's fine. You don't need a concert.
I don't.
Oh, well, I don't know. You guys behave yourself if we don't have a concert. There may be a concert, but it will probably be a limited one. I mean, to invite the friends and neighbors kind of thing.
Right, and a lot of us have wives that'll be there.
Oh,
as
yeah.
The audience. They're
Mhm.
good at that, be an audience for us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They got a lot of practice.
Yeah, like 60 years of practice, right? Oh, boy.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna sign off. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, Mike.
Okay, Mike, see you in 2 weeks.
Mike.
Good to see
Take
all
care.
of you. You take care.
Be well, Mike.
Yeah, thanks.
Stay safe, huh?
Well, if we don't have this reunion, I fear that it'll never happen. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, a lot of us are dying off.
Right. I was talking the other night. How many have we lost since we started the Zoom call? Half a dozen?
Well, direct participants of Zoom, I could think of 3. Direct
Well, yeah.
participants of Zoom, but other than that, another 2 or 3 more, yeah.
Right, like Bob Adams. He wasn't on Zoom calls. He's gone.
Right.
Bill Dern.
Bill Dern, right? And Ronnie.
Bill Dern.
Ronnie Bill,
Joe
Ronnie.
Sakala,
Ronnie Bell.
John Murata,
Yep.
Jeff Holzfein.
And how many are out there that we don't know about? A lot of them, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be. That could be.
Chris or Jim, did y'all know Ronnie Bill real well?
Did I know Ronnie Bill quite well?
Yeah.
Oh, very well. Yeah.
Because I didn't know him well, but Ira will remember my first year at the Red Garter. He had the first band, I had the second band. In other words,
Right.
he had a band on and a band off every hour, continuous music.
Mhm.
He was the leader of the other band,
Yeah.
you know? And the thing is, we, up in that apartment, they had apartments we all lived in upstairs. And it sounds like I'm talking about a man after he's gone, but I'm not. He was one of the best banjo players ever heard.
Oh, yeah,
But do
absolutely.
you know that every night he was nervous before he went on?
That was Ronnie. That nervous bit was his kind of part of his personality. He was
Yeah,
like that about he was like that about selecting scrambled eggs versus easy over, that same thing.
Is that right? That's what I want to ask you about because I was surprised. I mean, I was freaking drunk and drinking and getting ready to go up, and I didn't give a fuck about anything, you know. And I'd watch him, and he'd be all nervous and taking these tabs for nervousness. And stuff, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was my neighbor when I lived in Boston. He was my neighbor. Lived about 100 yards from his apartment was about 100 yards from mine. So I got to see him all the time. We played a lot. In fact, we would play duets. We played a lot together. I learned a lot from him.
And I would say he's one of the finest banjo players I've ever met.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's great. Did you ever hear his guitar work?
Yes. It's just great. In fact, he was a standout at Carnegie, I thought.
Sure.
The song is you, and all that. That's what he played.
Yep.
It was great, But nervous as can be, getting ready to go up on a bandstand and play 5 for 2 Eyes of Blue. He was shaking.
Yeah, his nervousness was part of his whole demeanor, if you want. But he got through life fine. But his respiratory issues caught up with him, and that was kind of the thing that did him in.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we better have this reunion soon. And next week would be good.
Are you feeling poorly, Ira? I mean, you feeling okay?
No, I'm fine. It's just that all we're talking about is who's gone. Let's have this reunion already.
Well, I'm getting ready to go to theater tonight. My granddaughter was cast in the lead role at the local theater.
Yeah, I saw your posting on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
So
That's great, Barry.
I already showered. I'll go put my clothes on. I'll take her to the theater because her mother and all the girls, my wife and all, they're up in New York right now. They're taking a girls' trip to New York.
Oh my!
Yeah, I saw it.
Hugh Jackman tonight in Music Man.
Oh,
I saw Dottie eating a pizza at Grimaldi's, and I wrote to her and told her I ate at that one in Brooklyn many, many times, and I eat at the one here in Fort Myers.
Yeah, they ate there yesterday, I think, at Grimaldi's.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready to go to the theater, and my granddaughter, she texted me last night. She knows I'm taking her home tonight after the show.
That's
She said,
good.
look, some of the cast members are having a cast party at the Cold Stone ice cream place. Would I go out of my way to bring her over there? I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
I said, I'm gonna go over there and hang out with the cast and eat ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, that's right up my alley,
You better wash off that cigar smell before you go, Barry.
Yeah, well, I don't care about that. So I'm gonna
That'll be
bring her
nice,
over
though. That'll be
there,
good.
watch the show. I booked every performance. And at $50 a performance, seeing my granddaughter's breaking me, but I wouldn't miss it, for the
Right.
She truly is the star of the show. The name of the show is Matilda the Musical, and she plays Matilda.
That's
Wow.
great. That's great.
She looks terrific. She looks like she's really into it.
Yeah.
How old is she, Barry?
She's 11,
Wow.
but I mean, she's got all kinds of lines and acting the whole show and sings, a bunch of big numbers. She does a ballad that she really knocks out.
That's great.
And I'm convinced, I don't know if I told you all this story, I might have told it last week. When I noticed she had some vocal ability, I called up a friend of mine who is the head of the musical theater department at Loyola. I was in theater with her when I was a teenager. I called up Flo. I said, what do you suggest we do because she shows potential in singing? Should we get her lessons? And you know what Flo said? Said no lessons. No lessons until she gets her period.
Oh,
Said,
really?
Because that'll screw up a female vocalist if you start trying to train it before their voice changes. She said, what I suggest is piano lessons. We got her piano lessons. And when she came for the audition for this Matilda she's in, she comes to me, says, Papa, I got this audition. I got to learn 2 songs. And we sit in my den there and go through the songs. I listen to them and coach her and all that. And I was amazed at how she was hitting those notes. And I'm convinced it's the piano lessons. That's the only thing we did differently. Is piano lessons. All of a sudden she's hitting those notes right in the center and all that, She went to the audition. There was 98 girls that auditioned for the role and she got it,
Good. Well, piano lessons are good, are a good thing for every musician or singer or actor. I mean,
Right.
because you learn you learn both clefs, you learn all the notes, and every orchestra needs a piano, and it's a great thing. Piano is a great thing. That was a good choice. I like your friend's advice. That was good.
Yeah. Yeah, piano lessons. So now she's to start tonight. She'll be up there singing in front of, I don't know, the theater holds 400 or 500 people, I guess. You know, she'll be singing in front of them.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
That's
The roar, of
good.
the roar of the grease bait, the smell of the crowd has claimed
Yeah.
another victim, huh?
I mean, shit, last week when she did her curtain call, I bust out crying.
Yeah.
I really did. I
Sure.
really did. I shit you
Papa.
not. You know, tears of joy,
Absolutely.
you know. And they got some hard songs in that show. I mean, they're not your regular, you know, 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 songs.
How long is the show, Barry? 2 hours?
Oh, 2 hours. 2 hours. So I put on my seersucker suits and go down there and look like the proud grandpa that I am.
Yeah, why not?
A seersucker suit. Oh, my
Oh, I
Lord.
got down here in New Orleans, they're popular.
I'll bet.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
Well, you
I got like I have 4 different colors.
You got the weather. You got the weather for it. That's great. You got the weather for it. We finally made it through 70 degrees this week, first time.
Yeah, put the seersucker suit on and the spectator shoes.
Oh, Lord. Love it. Love
Oh
it.
yeah.
Love
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to fit the part. I got a role to play too.
What time does the show start?
7:30. So I'm gonna bring it to the theater, then come back and put my clothes on. I don't feel like hanging around in the suit for an extra hour.
I don't blame you.
And the theater's only 15 minutes away, you know.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah.
That should be a fun night. That should be good.
Yeah, I'll be eating ice cream later on at
Well,
10
take
o'clock tonight. Y'all think of me, I'll be eating ice cream.
some film of that if you would, and let's have a look at it in 2 weeks when we get back together.
If I remember, I will, Gil.
Can you? That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
The kids are where it is. I mean, the kids are the future, so I love to see them. You know.
Yeah. Especially when you're in something you yourself enjoy.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know? I have one grandson, but he's a little bit young. When he gets a little bit bigger, I'll probably be going to ball games,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, you know.
Teaching him banjo.
Teach him banjo. Well, the one that's in Matilda tonight, about 3 years ago, she grabbed my ukulele. She said, Papa, teach me how to play this. So I taught her a couple of 3-chord songs. She picked it right up.
Yeah.
I said, look, if you learn these 3 chords, you could sing probably 1,000 songs.
Yep.
And for a kid, they don't understand that. What do you mean you can play 1,000? So let me show you. You see these 3 chords, C, F, and G? And I just started rattling them off, you know, playing a little bit of each song. I said, it's the same chords over and over.
Oh, yeah.
See, people like Dave and Ira, they looking at us. All these years, y'all thought we knew some shit, huh? We knew 3 chords.
Yeah.
I would say 95% of the mustache banjo players got on the mustache stage the first time knowing 3 chords.
That's,
Really?
You can count me in that group.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what I knew? 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. It's chords of 5'2".
That'll
In,
get you
in
through it.
any key. I could play them in any key, but only one position.
That's right.
One position, right, Jim?
Yeah,
and
move it up. And,
Knowing
move
a
it up.
1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 in every key, I could play half of the mustache tunes with that. Not good, but I could play them.
That's right. That's right. Just move it up and down the fretboard, and you got it.
Yeah. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but it didn't matter. Huh, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
When Jeff used to talk about that all the time, it's true. I mean, when he was saying that stuff on this Zoom call last year or the year before, all the banjo players knew exactly what he was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The funny thing is, it all worked. Well, the people that knew more carried the beginners.
Yeah, you can only get so fancy when you get 4 notes, you know? If you get 5 or
That's
6,
right.
if you get 5 or 6 notes, you can start to embellish things. And then life gets complicated. But,
They got a guy that plays in the matinee before me at Fritzl's now, and he's like one of the top guitarists in town, jazz guitarist. He's terrific. But on this matinee at Fritzl's, he plays a 6-string banjo. Now I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I usually don't like the way 6-string banjos sound. They sound muddy to me.
that's right.
All right.
I agree
The
with
way
you.
that, but the way this guy plays it, he plays it in a banjo style with 6 strings, and he can add some of those other notes that we can't give him.
Yeah.
This guy is terrific. It's something you've never heard. He's a great jazz banjoist. He plays in a banjo style, even though he's a guitarist on a
Interesting.
6-string banjo. He's really good, really good.
That's interesting, because when I play the guitar, when I play the banjo, I try very hard to avoid guitaristic style. And when I play the guitar, I try very hard to avoid banjo style.
Well, I think this guy, he's doing that too. In other words, he's playing a banjo, so he's playing it like a banjo.
Yeah, right. He's
Playing
doing
like
it.
a banjo, using tremolo and all that. However, some of those chords, he adds that 5th and 6th string in, and it gives a whole new dimension, you know?
Sure. I understand. And well, Clancy Hayes did that. Clancy Hayes played
Right.
a 6-string guitar tuned banjo, and he would add. Of course, he was doing a solo act, and I've seen it. I saw him a couple of times. I met him, and we had a long conversation about this. This was 100 years ago, but he could add those 2 bottom notes. He could play his own bass part, basically. What
Right.
he's doing. Yeah.
Right. That's like this guy I'm talking about. He's that
Yeah.
good that he could do all that.
Well, Clancy was a special case. Clancy was just a very fine entertainer and a wonderful singer, and so he was doing it to embellish his vocal, vocal, opposed to play. He wasn't he was an adequate banjo player, but he was not. He was primarily of the vocalist and an entertainer. Very, very, very. I always thought he was underappreciated in terms of his vocal talent. I really did.
Well, I tell you where they appreciate him in Europe.
Yeah.
I was playing Fritzl's one time during French Quarter Fest, and a lot of Europeans come down for that.
Sure.
And this English guy comes up to me out on the break. He says, "Fucking brilliant, brilliant." He says, "You just like Clancy Hayes." He's talking to me. I consider that a compliment, but I got to thinking about it. Well, I play the banjo, I sing, and I'm bald headed.
You were 3 for 3.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with talent. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I played in Europe for a long time. It was we lived there 8 years, and it was very interesting to me how the French, the Germans, the Spanish, the Italians all know the history of jazz better than we do.
That's right.
And they have a great appreciation for the older forms, whereas and bebop and space music as well. But you get into a crowd that, or even the younger crowds all come and appreciate the old stuff that we play. And that was something you don't encounter in the U.S. anymore at all.
And the place I work now over at Fritzl's, you hear me talk about it a lot. Those Europeans, it truly is like Mecca to them.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
They come down, they come to New Orleans, and they walk into Fritzl's and want to sit in because it's like a Muslim going to Mecca.
Yep.
They all know the club, they know the joint. It's a little hole in the wall, chicken shit place, but they want to come there and play and sit in to say they played at Fritzl's. By the way, Joel loved that place. I had Joel sit in there.
Cool.
Joel and Cynthia Sayer at the same time.
Wow, Cynthia Sayer.
That's a marriage made in heaven right there. Hi. Oof. Oof. I told her everything she knows and she screwed it all up. But there you go. But she's made a career of it. God bless her. She's hung in there.
Yeah,
She and BJ finally got married. That was kind of fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's a pretty good banjoist, I think.
Oh yeah,
she's pretty good.
she knows the stuff. Yeah, she plays piano too, by the way. Plays pretty well.
Well, she did the mustache in New York for a while.
Oh yeah, I remember it well. I remember that.
There, Ira, when she was playing,
I remember. Who did she marry?
a guy named BJ.
No, don't know him.
No one knows it.
No one knows him.
You're not alone.
Well, I knew him. I met him at a banjo convention.
Oh, did you? Good for you.
Yeah.
Cynthia Stair was very nice. She was nice.
She's a nice girl. No
Yeah.
question about it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice
And
girl.
about 10 years ago, I was having bad back problems from holding the banjo around my neck, and strolling. And I run across an article she wrote in the All Frets magazine about
That's
back
right.
pain.
Yep, right. I remember
So I
that.
called her. I got her number and called her. And I remember she stayed on the phone with me for over an hour, talking
Really?
about back pain and all. I did some of the stuff she told me to do, the stretches and all that, and it went away.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna have to run. My bladder's only good for an hour.
Well, yeah,
About
I'm
ready to
running
expire.
through also. Got to bring the girl to
Yeah.
the theater.
Yeah,
So
you
I'll
gotta
see
put on
y'all
a
in
suit.
2 weeks. See y'all in 2 weeks.
Take care. 2
Harry.
weeks.
Take a picture of you in the suit.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, I know they're big in New Orleans, though.
Have a great evening, young man. See you
Okay,
later.
guys, take care. See you in 2
Bye,
weeks.
everybody.